Neil Donald Walsh says, the deepest secret is that life is not a process of discovery, but a process of creation. You are not discovering yourself, but creating yourself anew. Seek, therefore, not to find out who you are, but seek to determine who you want to be. Now tell me a secret. Hello, Governor. This is Rakai Steed, Nuke from the Ville, and we're back. Episode 1, Season 6, Doctor Who. Let's get into a real quick recap. So, what do we have going on? The first thing that we are met with is we see Amy and Rory. They're enjoying life as a happy married couple. We see Amy kind of pouring through different texts and things like that because they haven't seen the Doctor in a while. It seems the Doctor has been gallivanting through history, doing a number of things, and he keeps leaving little clues and hints for them. They finally get a message that tells them where to meet the Doctor. We see Dr. River Song receive a message saying where to meet the Doctor. They end up meeting at this diner, and the Doctor shows up, and he just looks like he's had a grand old time. And he asks River about all these things they've done yet, and she says, yes, they've done some things. No, they haven't done some things yet. And he's like, okay. And we know how River goes, spoilers. So anyway, they go out to another site where they see another gentleman. He's just kind of standing there. They see someone in an astronaut suit come up, and the Doctor says, hold on. And everyone stands there, and the Doctor goes off to talk to this astronaut that just walked up out of the lake. And next thing we know, the astronaut shoots the Doctor. Now we know it's bad because the Doctor starts to regenerate. He's been shot dead. So the Doctor starts to regenerate. However, the astronaut shoots him again, killing him mid-regeneration. Now, what does that mean, boys and girls? Yeah, the Doctor is dead. Now, one thing that we got from the diner when the Doctor showed up was the Doctor told our little group that he was 1,100 and some years old. What? Last time we knew, the Doctor was 900 and something years old. So how's he gotten 200 years older all of a sudden? They meet the other gentleman who was waiting by, and he has a pickup truck, and he tells them who he is. And he got the same letter with coordinates from the Doctor to himself. They all go back to the diner where they met at first, and out of the back of the diner walks the Doctor. What? But apparently, this is the correct Doctor, their Doctor, at the correct age he's supposed to be. What? What? So they figure out where was the Doctor trying to go. They go back in time, back in history, to 1960 something, where they meet President Nixon. And he has this gentleman with him. They meet President Nixon and Kenton Everett Delaware III, who was the fourth gentleman that was with them when the Doctor was killed, but he was much, much older. So they're back in Florida, and they go back to 1969. Problem is, the president had been receiving phone calls to his private residence, all these places that he should not have received calls, with a little girl's voice that kept telling him that she was scared and for him to turn around or right behind him. And we couldn't see anything. The president would turn around and nothing was there. And then there's finally a scene where we see some sort of alien there. The doctor, hearing the recording, figures out that we need to go find this little girl in the recording and find out what they're talking about. Several things happen in this episode, and every time you turn around, Amy or Rory or Canton forget what happened just seconds earlier. And every time we see one of the aliens, as soon as they take their eyes off of it, they turn around, they forget what just happened. It's very weird. It's almost like the weeping angels, but every time you take your eyes off the weeping angels, they move closer to you. Every time you take your eyes off the aliens, you forget that you even saw the alien. So they end up going to this warehouse, and River finds a tunnel beneath the warehouse. She goes down the tunnel, and what we see is it looks like a layer, a nest of the aliens. But when River climbs out of the tunnel, she tells everybody it's all good, nothing was down there. And she goes back down there with Rory, same thing. We see Amy get sick on this mission for some reason. And then we also end up seeing River get sick for some reason. When River scans the console, she finds out that there's tunnels like the one beneath the warehouse all over the earth, and they've been there for thousands of years. And she comes up with the aliens have been here for thousands of years. We get a little bit of backstory on Canton, that he was kicked out of the FBI because he wanted to get married and they wouldn't let him get married for whatever reason. Because it's the 1960s, we make the assumption that Canton wanted to get married to a black woman, and that's why they end up kicking him out. It's a bad look, or what have you. In the warehouse, they start to run. They're running from the aliens. Canton gets knocked out, takes a real bad hit to the head. The doctor examines Canton to see if he's badly injured, and for some reason, Amy feels super anxious, and she runs up and tells the doctor that she's pregnant. We are led to believe that could the baby be the doctor's? Because why did she tell the doctor? This is the first any of us have heard of it. Why did she tell the doctor? Has she told Rory yet? But they saw the astronaut suit following them. And at this point, River, Canton, oh no, not Canton. River, Rory, and Amy know what the astronaut suit means. That's who killed the doctor. But because they killed a doctor who was 200 years older, they decide not to tell the doctor because when you start messing with the timeline, you know, spoilers. Anyway, they lift the faceplate up and it reveals a little girl inside. Amy spins to shoot the astronaut, but is unable to stop when the doctor tells her to. And it appears that she shoots the little girl in the astronaut suit. And then to be continued. You know how I am about my quotes, and here's one that I really like. The man who can keep a secret may be wise, but he's not half as wise as the man with no secrets to keep. I'm focusing on the secret that Rory, Amy, and River chose to keep. Because revealing the secret could be harmful not only to themselves but to the doctor. But if someone's at risk, why would you keep a secret? All of my life, I have been one of those people. If you told me something, I am Fort Knox. I don't say anything. It's not my business to tell your business. If you told me, that's as good as nobody knows. I've always been like that. Whereas, on the other hand, my brother couldn't hold water. Like, if you told him, it's a good chance whoever you don't want to know about it knows about it now. That's always been him. And we've always known that. I don't know. Now that we're older, he may be better at that. But if you tell me something, I don't tell anybody. The thing is, when I carry other people's secrets, it does not feel like a burden to me. Some people have an absolute problem with it because it's such a burden, it's heavy, and you get the weight of the world on you because I know things that I shouldn't know. I never look at it like that. Your business is your business. I learned that there was a difference though when I started teaching, because my students often found me as a confidant, and they would tell me about hardships and things going on in their family, things going on in their personal lives that was extremely difficult to know. And I had to choose, when do you betray someone's trust? Because once you betray it, it's nigh impossible to get it back. But I also had to recognize that sometimes the things that they told me could be potentially harmful, not only to others, but to themselves. And anytime a student sat down to tell me stuff, I told them, listen, if you tell me something that I think will harm you or harm other people, I have to let that be known. I'm just letting you know up front. It's a hard place to live in when you're the keeper of people's secrets. It can be extremely stressful. Because we're talking about not only your things and what's going on in your personal life, but the things that are going on in other people's personal life. And sometimes it's hard to know, especially as a man. Men, we have this innate need, want to solve people's problems. And sometimes you can't solve people's problems. Sometimes you just need to shut the hell up and listen. Some people don't want to hear all your advice. Are you actually offering advice on something that you really have no base in? You know, if you've never had a mother on crack, why the hell are you offering me advice on what I should do? What do you know about it? If you've never gone several days without eating, what do you know about it? So it's one part listening, and that has to outweigh your need to solve. If anything, you can do your best to try to help them, one, reach their own conclusions, two, share with someone else who can do something to help them, or three, at least give you permission to talk to someone else with the necessary resources that might be able to help them, if that's what they want. Holding other people's secrets can also be detrimental to your mental health. A lot of people, it's heavy on them. Sometimes that is why they share with someone else. And you know, the dumbest thing, you see it in movies and TV shows all the time. If I tell you this, you have to promise to me, swear to me that you're not going to tell anyone else. Well, it wasn't your business to tell in the first place. But they do that because they cannot have the entire burden weigh on them and not sharing. What if a secret that you were holding led to someone doing harm to themselves? That type of guilt could eat away at you, because you feel like if you had just told someone, if you had just done something, maybe it would have came to a different outcome. Maybe. Maybe not. Why Rory, Amy, and River decided to keep the doctor's secret is because they are in the middle of, I don't even want to say investigation, and that's because they had Canton with them, who's a former FBI agent, but they came to a place where they felt like they didn't have enough information. best thing that they could do was figure out what were they dealing with and maybe do their best to keep the doctor safe, to stop the events that happened at the very beginning of this episode. This episode was strong. They killed the doctor, like killed him so early in the episode, it threw me all the way off. But as we started watching the episode, it became phenomenal, and then it became a two-parter. He did that to start the season? For real? Anyway, see me in a couple days when we do part 2. You get to hear my deep dive there. This is Rakai Steve, Noob from the Ville. Make sure that you like this video. Make sure that you comment on this video. Are you the type of person that can keep secrets? And if not, why not? Share this video as much as possible. And I'm glad that you made it this far with me. If you made it this far, you should be watching more of my videos and making them to the end. Anyway, thank you everyone. We made it to 1,000 subscribers, but we're only scratching the surface. We're just getting started. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Go back and catch my deep dive on Rebel Ridge or on the movie Snatch. Or go back to last season of Doctor Who. You won't regret it. It's gotta be about this. It's gotta be about this.